You are listening to the award-winning Welcome to Your Life, Midlife Made Easier podcast. I am your host, certified health and life coach, Renee Reed. Welcome to Your Life is a lifestyle podcast for women juggling midlife, self-care, and work-life balance. If you are ready to live the life you deserve, keep on listening. Today, we are talking about the anniversary of loss and how you can empower yourself to get through the day. Let's get started. You are listening to the award-winning Welcome to Your Life, Midlife Made Easier podcast. I am your host, certified health and life coach, Renee Reed. Welcome to Your Life is a lifestyle podcast for women juggling midlife, self-care, and work-life balance. If you are ready to live the life you deserve, keep on listening. Today, we are talking about the anniversary of loss and how you can empower yourself to get through the day. Let's get started. Hey guys, welcome back to the show. I hope that you are all doing well and that you are sheltering in place with your families and staying connected to your friends through all the technology that we have available to us. I have never used Zoom as much as I have used it in the past 5 weeks. So I am really thankful to the creators of this tool. Today we're going to talk about something that's a little bit heavy, but it's something that I know that we can handle. I mean, if you have made it to midlife, you know what it means to lose someone you love, and you know what it means to remember and celebrate that loss every anniversary. April 17th would have been my younger brother's 59th birthday. And every year on that day, I am reminded that there is a very noticeable gap between my youngest brother, Larry, and myself. David died from the same disease that took our dad, heart disease. And his death was not the first death I have experienced. I have buried both of my parents, both grandmothers, both grandfathers, and a beloved aunt. But this is different. David and I were born 11 months apart. And when we were younger, I told everyone that we were twins, because between April and June, our respective birth months, we are the same age. David was the balance between my youngest brother and myself. He was calm, funny, a gifted artist who loved comic books, sci-fi, and he was the first tech nerd that I ever knew. And as this pandemic rages around us, my heart goes out to the families who will celebrate their own anniversaries this time next year. So I wanted to share with you guys 3 ways that I have found to empower myself and get through the day. And I'll go into all 3 of those tools that you can use right after a word from our sponsor. Today's podcast is brought to you by Anchor. And if you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, let me tell you, it is the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Let me explain. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcast, and more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. So download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. I can't wait to hear what you create. Hey guys, welcome back. So, how can you empower yourself to get through those anniversaries of loss? Some of us will be celebrating many anniversaries as we get older. And it's important that we have some tools in place to help us to get through the day, because grief doesn't go away, but it is manageable. So the first thing that I do if I want to is I cry. This is not the day to stay in control of your emotions. And if you feel like crying, let the waterworks go. But if possible, don't spend the whole day crying, because this can be very draining. I want you to deal with your emotions unapologetically, but I want you to use this time of crying as a time of relief, not as a time to continue to start the grieving process over. The second thing I want you to do is to do something in remembrance of the person that you lost. I love the fact that my brother and I loved sci-fi. We were the only people in our family who were, Trekkies from the very beginning when it started in the 60s. And all the way until he passed away, we watched every Star Trek movie. He would have loved the whole Marvel comic series because he collected those comic books when he was a kid. And so this year I watched the new Picard series on PBS. He would have loved it, and I watched it thinking of the fact that, this is something that we would have shared together. So you can never forget the person that you lost, but you can empower yourself by doing something that they would have enjoyed or that you two enjoyed together. And you can incorporate this memory into your plans. So plan it in advance. To do something that you guys enjoyed. The third thing is really, really, really important, and that is connecting with others. So the first couple of years after David passed away, I admit it, I shut myself off on his birthday and on the day that he died. I just shut myself off. I worked really long hours or busied myself with my kids, and I just didn't talk about, the fact that he was a part of my life and now he wasn't. And this year, I shared my feelings with my kids. I told them stories about times when we were growing up and how I would fight people who tried to bully him. And sharing these stories helped me to remember David, but it also gave my kids some insight into our childhood, a topic that they tell me I don't share enough. My daughter-in-law was so sweet. She dropped off a really nice bottle of wine and some chocolates, and her kindness on his birthday gave me a new memory to add to this anniversary. So what I want you to do is to make new memories. It's so easy to get stuck in the past, but that is not what your loved one would want you to do. They would want you to live and to be happy and to remember them and to remember the fun times that you guys had together. The other thing is you can start a new tradition to honor your loved one and to celebrate their contribution to the world. Grief is one of those emotions that never really goes away. A smell, a song, a photo, any combination of these things can bring back all the raw feelings of loss. But take time to care for yourself and tap into your inner strength because it's there. Use this time to pamper yourself. Take a long walk. Write your thoughts in a journal. Take a yoga class. Talk to your therapist or coach, but don't suffer in silence. This only makes the loss deeper and the wound will never heal. One thing that I am sure of is that David would not want us sitting around moaning and groaning. He would want us watching all the Marvel movies, collecting comic books, cooking great dishes and eating them together because he was a great cook. And that's what I want you to remember, that your loved one still wants the best for you, even though they are not here to share it with you. They want you to take the love that you had for them and use it as fuel to move you forward into the world. You can do it, and we can do it together. Thank you for listening to today's show. Please subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Don't forget your free gift is waiting. Download the ultimate midlife guide, Beating the Midlife Slump, 10 strategies to help you boost your self-confidence, self-love, and self-care. Just click the link in the show notes to download your free copy today. Until next time, I am wishing you peace and love. Talk soon.